Threes first. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I know you love me. I know you care. Brother. Zoran Mamdani is a goat, okay? Democrats don't understand this. You gotta put your foot down on their neck. You gotta be aggressive relentlessly, bro.
4 years ago, Andrew Cuomo
Release your client list, Cuomo.
resigned in disgrace. And you probably know why.
The governor's office kept the nursing home death data secret.
Cuomo aggressively groped an aide.
Inappropriately touched a female state trooper.
Use of state resources for a COVID-19 memoir.
Less well known is what he spent the last 4 years doing, besides getting trounced in the Democratic primary. In 2022, Cuomo started Innovation Strategies LLC to represent individuals and corporations in a variety of matters. Definitely not vague.
This is how you curate your own narrative. He's curating a whole scene right now. He's depicting a story. And Zoran right now, like, he does not need to do this. But you gotta beat them hard. You gotta beat them nonstop. You gotta not let up on the gas at all, bro.
Represent individuals and corporations in a variety of matters. Definitely not vague. Last year, it raked in more than $500,000. Who paid for Cuomo's services? He refuses to say. But what journalists have been able to piece together is troubling. In April, Bloomberg revealed that Cuomo advised a cryptocurrency exchange based in the Seychelles as it faced federal investigations. Then in May, Politico reported that Cuomo failed to disclose $2.6 million in stock options to the New York City Conflicts of Interest Board. His excuse? The stocks were technically owned by Innovation Strategies LLC, of which he's the sole proprietor. Finally, in June, the New York Times uncovered that Cuomo had worked with his
See, the difference is you can say Zoran is like Trump in populism and a quick fix to everything, but he provides policies he wants to do. Maybe they don't all land perfectly, but he does diagnose a problem with corruption. Like right now, these are all real issues, but Trump doing an ad like this would be about why these dirty, disgusting, savage, brown immigrants got to be exterminated from our country to heal our national blood. So like diagnosing the current issues of the time, this populism should probably be welcomed, because Zoran does say things like my pilot program for grocery stores, if they don't work, we can go back on that plan. So he's not being like a raging socialist. I think he's being pretty reasonable.
Time friend Andrew Farkas on a luxury marina project in Puerto Rico. Farkas's previous partner on luxury marinas in the Caribbean, Jeffrey Epstein.
We had a finance chair like none other, Andrew Farkas.
That's the thing about Andrew Cuomo. Once you think you found out about all of his scandals, you find out about another, and then another.
And you can make this ad about Trump too, but Democrats are so weak and feckless. The progressives are the only ones crazy enough and like fueled enough to make ads like this to really fight for it. Now there's different styles of campaigning, but I'd probably say this right now is what's needed for the time. And for whatever reason, other Democrats don't really replicate it. And Zoran is a Democrat. And every Democrat's talking about big money being an issue in politics, but Zoran just does it better and more effectively. Same for like a Bernie Sanders. And these are candidates who might not do as well in a lot of Democratic primaries, like Bernie for president. But there's a lot of evidence that he would do really well with general election voters, low propensity voters that voted Trump. AOC and Bernie got a huge crossover of Trump voters that voted for them as well and split their ticket across party lines. So it's a really complicated game we're playing here. You need a mix of populism with respect for institutions as well to make sure we maintain a democracy and everything. But you need a strong rebuttal to what Trump's doing, because we're going to lose our country if we don't have it.
And then probably another. But if my friend, the disgraced former governor of the state of New York, feels that's unfair, Habibi, release your client list.
It's just like the anger, the aggression. You can tell he doesn't like him. And Kamala, you saw Kamala talking during the debate when Trump's like, they're eating the cats and the dogs. She laughed. She's like, talk about extreme. Bro, no one took Trump seriously, especially after that shit. You think any other candidate would have let that moment slide? Like, the big thing is whenever Trump says something crazy, it's like, oh, Trump says things. Like, Kamala covered for Trump in that moment. We need a candidate who is a vicious political monster, who wants to win more than anything, who cannot stand the other side, and who will grab moments like that. We have not capitalized on that. We need that mentality. Really, really, we really need that mentality. Oh, thank you, Corey, for joining supporter tier. I don't know if you are. Yeah, wait. Thank you for rejoining supporter tier, I think.
Today, the White House sent a letter to the head of the Smithsonian, one of the great museums of the world, which is actually 21 museums in all. In the letter, they made it clear to Smithsonian Secretary Lonnie Bunch III, writing that it wants what it wants and why from 8 of their museums initially, with more to come. Quoting now from the administration's letter, quote, "This initiative aims to ensure alignment with the president's directive to celebrate American exceptionalism, remove divisive or partisan narratives, and restore confidence in our shared cultural institutions. They're beginning a review of the Smithsonian's plan for celebrating the 250th anniversary."
Wait, divisiveness? Remove divisiveness. So this is codename for color blindness. So removing evidence of racism or violence or genocides, remove all evidence of social conflict from these museums, whitewash history, forget the real lessons of things like Martin Luther King Jr., forget that these leaders were a bunch of radicals, especially like Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King Jr., they were democratic socialists, George Orwell as well. And we need to keep that in perspective when they censor this history. And Trump also... celebrate American exceptionalism. That's a dog whistle. Trump also tried banning the Smithsonian having his name in a list of presidents who were impeached. Trump was impeached multiple times. Not removed, but he was impeached. And Trump tried forcing them to remove his name from that list.
Institutions. They're beginning a review of the...
What kind of leader, okay, guys, what kind of leader censors information they don't like from cultural institutions and museums? What kind of leader does that? Probably an aspiring authoritarian dictator type person.
Smithsonian's plan for celebrating the 250th anniversary of American independence next year, but that's hardly all. Even as it says the goal is not to interfere with day-to-day operations, the White House goes on to demand from each museum a full catalog of all current and ongoing exhibitions and budgets, a list of all traveling exhibitions and plans for the next 3 years, and all...
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That is awesome. The recollection of the civil rights movement is going to be MLK skipping down the street with a bunch of white guys, and it's going to have a quote saying, "I'm MLK, and I promise to never do crime again. I know we all do crime, and when we are not, we are done doing crime." And they signed the Civil Rights Act, and they all live in happily ever after territory. And they make racism illegal. Racism was made illegal, bro. Like, no one can be racist anymore. It's illegal, bro. It's illegal. It's illegal to be racist.
Including staff manuals, job descriptions, and organizational charts, along with internal communications about exhibition artwork selection and approval. The letter concludes with this: "By focusing on Americanism, the people, principles, and progress that define our nation, we can work together to renew the Smithsonian's role as the world's leading..."
Now, the things that define our nation include the bad things, but in their brain, they cannot talk about any failures America has ever made. You know how China censors Tiananmen Square? Like, that's what they want to do in America.
Museum institution, which on its own might sound like a noble ambition, but it does not, of course, stand alone. It comes as part of what has been the administration's ongoing effort to purge government websites and American historical sites of references to Black Americans, gay and lesbian Americans, and transgendered Americans. At one point, even flagging for removal on a Pentagon website a photo of the B-29 bomber that dropped the first atomic bomb in combat. The plane was nicknamed the Enola Gay. A somewhat ironic Control-F fail, apparently, but also part and parcel of a deeply serious administration effort to eliminate from government websites any mention, photograph, or video that, quote, promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, they literally just Googled, or they used AI, and they said, delete all references to gay, and they deleted the Enola Gay.
What followed was the elimination of references to Black and Latino war heroes, gay service members, and the effort to integrate the armed services starting in 1948. And what followed in March was an executive order targeting the Smithsonian for coming, quote, under the influence of divisive race-centered ideology. Now, that order signaled out one of the 8 museums named in the letter today, the National Museum of African American History and Culture, and specifically something someone wrote on a museum website once in 2020 and was quickly taken down, in which the Secretary Bunch, spoke about in front of Congress in 2023.
I think that the document itself was wrong and flawed. I do think, however, it's important for the Smithsonian to help the country grapple with questions of race. So I'm not going to run away from that. But I agree with you very much that that document is not the kind of document that should be at the Smithsonian.
What do you think he said?
He acknowledged it was inappropriate and wrong and took it down. But if you've ever been to this museum, in addition to being powerful and moving, it's upsetting and it is unsettling, just like parts of our history are. Parts of the administration has already taken steps to edit out or in,
what did he say? What did the guy say?
In June of 2020, protesters in Washington pulled down a statue of a Confederate Army General, Albert Pike. A short time later, the president, who was then running for re-election, said something that spoke to that moment, and it seems to this moment as well.
The unhinged left-wing mob is trying to vandalize our history, desecrate our monuments, our beautiful monuments.
Did you see they're adding new statues of slave owners and shit and people that tormented black people? Like they're adding new statues, not even historic statues. The DHS is quoting neo-Nazi books, like literal Nazi books on Twitter. They're doing literal Nazi propaganda, not even hidden at all. And we can't call them racist because if we call them racist, then they're gonna say, "Oh, you call everything racist," because they're stupid assholes. But like. They're literally just doing it out loud, aggressively. Ice Cube, I saw Ice Cube is now anti-Trump admin. Thank you, Ice Cube, for doing a great job, buddy. Thank you for helping encourage this and now trying to walk it back. Don't let them walk it back, by the way. Snoop Dogg performing at the Crypto Ball. Kid Rock, bro. Kid Rock, bro. I only listen to real white rappers like Macklemore.
Tear down our statues and punish, cancel, and persecute anyone who does not conform to their demands for absolute and total control.
See, that's awesome. Every accusation is a confession. Punish anyone who does not conform, which is what they literally want to do.
Well, last week, the National Park Service announced that the statue of Albert Pike, who was, just to repeat, a Confederate general, a traitor, would be restored to its place in the district to conform to recent executive orders, including the one in March to restore, quote, truth and sanity to American history. Joined now by New York Times' White House correspondent Maggie Haberman. So where is this coming from in the White House? I mean, is this from the president himself?
This is from a lot of people around the president and encouraged by the president. As you noted, the president talked about this in 2020. He actually talked about that prior to 2020, the broader concept in 2017 when the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia happened. And he started talking to aides about how he liked the idea of talking about heritage. And that became something that he would focus on.
After Charlottesville, you know there's neo-Nazis marching with tiki torches, and you start talking about heritage. You start talking about heritage and genetics, bro. Awesome.
In public addresses and public speeches. This is just a continuation of that. This is not necessarily a long-held belief of Donald Trump's, which is something a lot of advisors have tried to insist, but it is a long...
There's good people on both sides. Oh, but Trump never said there's good people on both sides. He said the Nazis are bad. Yeah, it was like, there's good people on both sides. There's a Nazi side. There's a non-Nazi side. And then Trump was like, there's good people on both sides. Then after like 10 times, the media is like, hey, Trump, do you really mean that? Do you really mean that? Do you really mean that? And Trump's like, okay, fine. The Nazis are bad, I guess. And he walked away. Very, very strong dismissal of the Nazis.
Long-held belief of a number of conservatives that
he's like, I guess, fine, they're bad too.
On race, as
if I need to say it, I'll say it.
Race
if I need to say it,
controversy around race, and
you guys keep on saying the Nazis are bad. I guess so.
It is not really
give
subjective.
me an award.
It just
I
is
said they're bad.
There are ugly aspects of the history, and so Trump saying that people are being controlled or censored or canceled. He is, as you suggest, efforting some kind of a different approach, doing what critics would argue something similar.
Yeah, I mean, we saw early on.
They want to take our monuments and censor ugly aspects. If they do that shit, they're going to get their ass wrecked. No pause. No pause.
In the administration, sort of these ham-fisted efforts to...
You know what? I know what you guys are wondering about my channel. And yes, I do need to rap more when I do my political segments, all right? I do need to rap more. I will start doing that. It'll be... I know you guys beg for that all the time. You beg in all the emails you send me saying, please, please, please rap more in your segments. And I'm listening, and I will give you what you want.
Purge all government websites at the Pentagon of any references to black people or gay people. Taking books out of the library at military academies by black authors or about the black experience in America, whereas I think the Times noted Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler was allowed to stay in. I think a Toni Morrison book was taken out. I think it was Beloved. Is there a sense of, is somebody in the White House themselves running point on this? Or?
I think there are a couple of people in the White House who are running point on this. You saw that letter was signed by a couple of advisors. One is somebody who works in the staff secretary's office. One is Russ Vought at the Office of Management and Budget.
Russell Vought is a Christian nationalist authoritarian asshole as well. Okay, this segment's boring.
Congress earlier this year took credit for what he said was the end of wokeness.
Thank God.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion.
By the way, that was Hitler's entire campaign, was anti-multiculturalism and anti-globalism. When your political movement is all about anti-immigration, anti-multiculturalism, anti-globalism, and pro-exceptionalism for your country, American exceptionalism or German exceptionalism, you might be in a bad political aisle. Just saying.
Policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
Imagine being that 48-year-old white guy who stands up in his seat like, hell yeah, no more wokeism. Those black girls keep talking loud. I don't want to hear it no more. Like, imagine being that person, bro. Imagine being that person. That guy who stands up to be pro women's sports when there's a trans athlete, but when when there's no trans athletes around, he throws dildos on the court. He laughs about it like, they should go jump on it. It's just like, these people are crazy as shit, bro. They are insane. They are insane people, bro. Like, they drive trucks. I see them drive their trucks down the road, and they are so damn short, bro. They can barely see over that damn steering wheel, and they hit shit in the parking lot. They say shit like, bro, they made these damn parking lots too small in their Ford F-350 Super Duty. Like, it's actually crazy as shit. These people are crazy as shit. They complain about problems. They get mad about things they made up. They get mad about problems they created in their own heads. Like, what's going on with white America, bro? Like, they're stuck in Appalachia. They don't want to hear a... Wait a second. I can't say that.
Joining me now for more on this is former president and CEO of the NAACP.
Can you call in? Yeah, you can call in. What is the phone number for? Dipshit.
CP, Cornell William Brooks, who's a Harvard professor and CNN chief political analyst, David Axelrod, former senior advisor to President Obama. Cornell, we've talked before about how accepting and learning from shameful periods in American history actually make this country stronger. What do you make of this now review of the Smithsonian, or at least 8 museums at the Smithsonian?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. But let us note this, this most recent effort to censor the Smithsonian is a matter of making bad worse. So we had an executive order that
Okay, I want to ask a question. Do you guys think wait a second. Wait. Let me take a phone call then. Do you believe that rap is an intellectual genre? Do you think rap is an intellectual, intelligent art form? Do you think that rap is intense and intelligent and lyrical, spiritual, miracle, hysterical, spherical? Like, I really want to know. Wait a second. No, I don't. Shut up. Who's this?
You're watching CNN.
Hello.
Hello.
Nothing, dude.
Thank you.
How
babe.
you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great.
So it's Democrats versus Republicans, right?
I guess so. I guess.
Well, it's really not. It's the central banks. It's the big corporations.
Oh God!
It's the people who fund them.
No.
Let's
cringe,
be real. Let's be real.
No cringe
Nothing
allowed.
cringe about it.
No cringe allowed.
That's the real world. You have to
Oh
open your
my
eyes.
goodness! Oh no!
Who
One of
funds
these
these people?
people. One of
It's
these
not.
people.
It's history.
Oh
Just
no!
look at it. No.
Oh no! Not one of the Nick Fuentes fans. Can you please? I can't believe he's on CNN now, bro. Nick Fuentes on CNN. Thank you, CNN, for platforming all of the societal demons we have. Love it. Hello?
Hello.
This is Pizza Hut. Welcome to the hut.
Nice.
You like it your way?
Your way.
Your way. Uruguay.
No.
Wait, how do you say that one country's name? Uruguay? 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 Uruguay. How do you say that? Uruguay? Uruguay? What's that one country's name? Someone help me. Wait, how do you say
Are you done?
Done with what?
I don't know, talking shit.
I'm not talking shit.
No?
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Okay, I got it now. Okay, what's up?
Good job, man.
Thank
I
you.
was rooting for you. Proud of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
So I'm wondering how much of the, I don't know much about you. I just happened to be traveling tonight, so I had you on. And I think some of what you say is pretty astute. I think some of what you say is you just try to push buttons. So I'm wondering how much you believe and how much you just stir the pot.
So I believe we should be taxing the wealthy to help Americans have a better life, and Trump is anti doing
Sure you
that.
do.
So
Are you wealthy?
no,
Yeah. Well, it's really easy to take.
I'll pay
somebody
more
else.
taxes. No, hey, I'll pay more taxes too. I'll pay more. I'm fine with that.
Why are you going to wait? Why wait for taxes? Just pay it now.
Because I want to move a really big boulder. All right, it's a 10-ton boulder, and I can't do it alone. I need everyone to push in the same direction.
Well, it takes one guy to start pushing, doesn't it?
No, that's really stupid. If you think you can lift a 10-ton boulder, you're just stupid as shit.
Well, I mean, one guy starts pushing, and then another guy pushes, and then another guy.
No,
pushes,
you all
and
got to
then
push at the same time. You got to push at the same time as a team, as a collective.
I
You
think
can't
it's
just
all
push at
well and
separate
good when you want to
times.
spend somebody else's money, but
No,
when it
you
comes
can
to
spend mine
yours-
too. No, you can tax me more. You can tax me more too. You can tax me more too. We just
But
we
you're not- but
we
you're
all
not
gotta
wealthy.
we all
You
gotta
don't-
invest.
But you don't have anything to tax.
I know taxing me more is even better because I'm even making more of a commitment. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm better than them. Thank you.
Well, I'm proud of you. Most of us out here working and making that commitment too. I mean, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know if you're Captain Google or if you actually have a job, but you see, those of us are out here
You're
building
insulting
stuff.
me for no reason. I want to make sure Americans have a better life, and you don't
You
want
said
to
I was
tax.
gay right off the bat. You said you're gay right off.
No, I was asking how to say the country name, dude. Jesus. Okay, so like in America, we should be able to tax BlackRock to help Americans have a better life, in my opinion. But you're pro BlackRock, which is really cringe.
I'm not pro anything. I'm not pro.
Yeah, you are.
pro
You're like,
You don't even
BlackRock
know me.
worked
Why
harder
would you
than
think
me
What's that?
because you don't want to tax the wealthy.
Well, I'm not saying don't tax wealthy. Make them pay their taxes. So I don't know how much Elon Musk paid last. What, $5 billion? Shit, I don't know. He paid a lot of money. But you see income tax. You don't see all the other taxes that those of us who have businesses and things like that have to pay on top of that, with payroll taxes and healthcare taxes and all those taxes we have to pay on top of all that. So I mean, you see one number and you think, oh, that's what they contribute. But a lot of us. I work in I've been working in nonprofits my entire adult life. I work in one now. I'm a fundraiser for a wildlife charity, and there's a lot of people who run their mouths about donating and changing the planet, but conservatives donate 3 to 1 to liberals when it comes to charity. I saw it in the Boys
Yeah,
and Girls Club of
do you know
America.
why though? Like one of the big reasons why?
Well, because they do instead of run their mouths. I mean, you use this monolithic they, so I'm assuming they means
No. Okay,
conservatives.
so the reason conservatives do more charity is because they like the emotional appeal better. They feel good about it. If they can, like, they don't want to pay higher taxes to help people, but they'll donate directly so they can feel good and have their head patted because they're.
Well, that's not about head patting. It's about community and donating directly.
No, but they won't like pay higher taxes to invest in the country or in their community or
Which they pay higher.
like property tax, for example, for school boards or for schools. But they will pay. They will go to the football game and donate $100 to the football team because they feel better about it.
No.
It feels like, yeah.
The top 40% of earners pay almost all the tax. The bottom 30% pay
Yeah,
nothing.
because they have all the money. Yeah, it makes sense. Of course, they
Well,
have
I
all
mean,
the money.
they earn the money. Shouldn't they have the money if they earn the money?
No, it's a control issue. If one person has all the money in society, there's a freedom issue. They become a dictator. We should be spreading out the wealth more so everyone benefits. Because for someone to be wealthy, they need workers to work for them. Their workers should not be on welfare while they're working at freaking Walmart because they don't want to pay the workers well.
I completely agree. Their workers should not be on welfare. But you see, most of the people who run businesses and have businesses, they don't look at things that way. I mean, I think you think they do because you don't do it. But most of them
What way?
understand that rising
That
rising
Walmart
tide
shouldn't
lifts
pay
all
higher
boats.
taxes? That's not
What's
true
that?
at all. The past 40
What's
years
not?
in America, even if we had more overall wealth in America, and I'm not an anti-capitalist, I really don't give a shit at all about capitalism or socialism. But in general, the issue right now is that we have like 3 companies that control everything in America. And that becomes a freedom issue if you have monopolies. We need trust busting to break up companies. We have to tax rich people more. The fact America has worse health care than Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Germany, we should be pissed off that we have worse health care than a bunch of dipshit European countries in America.
you say we have worse health care, but you know what? We're the most generous countries in the world where people who can walk in off the street who aren't even from here can go into an emergency room and have whatever care they need to have and not have to worry about paying the bill.
In Australia, they go for free. In Australia, every person, including citizens, have free health care if they want it, and they live longer than Americans by like 5 years.
I personally don't think health care is a right. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are right. You should have the right to say what you want. You should have the right to protect yourself. But you don't have the right to tell a doctor that he has to give his services for a certain amount of money.
Well, I mean, they have an oath to take care of people if they are, you know,
Sure,
if they need to.
I get
But like
the oath.
in like Australia and other countries with these better healthcare systems, they live on average like 5 years longer than we do because they take care of their people. But in America, we're too selfish to do that, sadly.
Well, it's great that they live longer, but do they live better?
Yeah, they're happier too. They report happier quality of life. They have a higher chance to go from poor to rich. There's more social mobility.
I mean, what do they have to Australians have Australia to compare how happy they are. So they're going to say, yeah, of course we're happier than they are. We're from Australia. We're the greatest
It's just
ever.
healthier societies. They spend more on education. They spend more on teachers. They spend more on therapists and doctors. They spend more on things to help the country be better. In America, we spend money on a lot of like gambling and social media and.
You know, we talk about schools. We spent on average about $56,000 per student last year, and there's a lot of these communities in certain areas that can't read at a fourth grade level. You think that throwing money at a problem fixes it? You want to take money from people who are fiscally responsible and give it to a government that's fiscally not, and you think that throwing money at a problem is going to fix it? Money's a tool, and it's like a hammer. If you don't teach somebody how to use a hammer, all they're going to do is fling it around. You got to teach them how to use money like a tool.
All the least funded schools in America have the worst results. And in the poor areas in America where they don't have good property tax base, they have the worst results. There are cities where the rich area, a mile away, has super high test scores, and the poor area has low test scores. In cities like Chicago. I'm for a different mechanism to fund schools everywhere. Because if you have a school that has no money, that school's going to continue having no money and no resources.
Well,
regardless if you have vouchers or not.
If people are nailed down to go to a school just because they live in a geographical area, that may or may not be fair, but it sounds pretty fair to me that people should say, you know what, that school is a little bit better. I think it meets our needs better. Maybe we should send them over there. So, I mean,
if you want a bad country, that sounds good. But like in America right now, if we did that, like how do you decide who gets into the good private school?
Well, I mean, people who can pay go to private school. People who don't go to public school.
So rich people get good education, but poor people don't in your system.
I'm not rich. I have two businesses. I work 60, 80 hours a week. My wife's a social
I understand. Okay, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. But what I'm saying is a poor kid in America should have opportunity. A poor kid should have opportunity is what I'm saying.
I know you want to insult me, but you can just listen to me for a second.
Oh my God! Don't cry about the insult. Just go with the flow. It's a conversation. I'm busting your balls, bro. I'm nuts.
You know,
Jesus.
I'm not. You were talking about earlier about people talking shit, not being able to take it. It's great, but understand you got to take it back. If you talk shit to me, you got to understand I'm going to give you shit right back.
Okay, give me shit back. I don't give a shit at all. I'll be you're halfway across Schitt's Creek without a dick.
I think you have a luxury. Here's my insult. My ultimate insult for you. I think you have a luxury opinion about a lot of things. I think you sit on your ivory game chair and look down at the world.
My ivory game chair. Are you brain dead? You're a dumbass motherfucker. You are dumb as shit. You are dumb as shit. I have a $5 Amazon chair because you're stupid. I live in like a basement, bro. I live in a basement.
Well,
right now. I'm a basement
dweller.
My ivory basement chair. I'm sorry I want a better country and you want a worse country. Okay, again. Okay, the point you ran away on was how do you decide who gets into the rich schools? And my plan is to make sure all schools in America have proper funding, which is what European countries do, and their schools have better outcomes. They have lower crime rates as a result. In America right now, we have rich schools and poor schools. Every school should have good funding in America, in my opinion. But your response is, well, the rich people should have educations and the poor people should not. That'd be a terrible country. I want a good country.
No, I'm
you
saying
want bad
people
country.
should be able to choose how they pursue their education.
So if the good schools, all right, are at capacity, how do we decide who gets into the good schools first? Who are in the rich areas? Who gets in?
I don't know. You keep using Europe as a metric for things. You go to Ireland right now, the Irish can't even get into the schools they've been going to for generations because they've injected so many refugees into that system. So you want to talk about
true. That's not even true. You want to bring up refugees and immigrants.
True.
Oh
that
my God, you people are pathetic,
true.
bro. Listen, all I want to do is make sure that poor areas have well-funded public schools so they get good educations and a chance to succeed. And you people have an issue with that shit for some reason.
Why do you keep saying you people? You talk to me like I didn't grow up.
Because I'm racist against white people. Don't you understand?
White people?
I'm racist.
I'm not white. Okay?
Oh,
I'm
shit.
not white.
No. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay.
Why do you
Okay.
say
So
white people?
I'm sorry. Because I hate my own.
My brown wife, how
No.
white we are.
No. I hate my own. I know. I hate myself. I'm sorry. I'm a self-hating white boy.
So, I mean, yes,
I'm a
I think you have a
self-hating white boy.
luxury opinion about a lot of things. You sit in a very
Okay. So
cushy
now I have
spot.
white privilege. Now I have what? You're saying I have white privilege now?
No, I think you have American privilege. I think
You have American privilege. I want to do good things for America. What the hell? Okay, America has less privilege than those countries, and they have less money than we do.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part. I'm traveling. I didn't hear that last part, what he said.
Other countries have better conditions and they have less money than we do. I don't even know what you mean by that. I'm advocating for systems that I have good health care. If I want everyone to have health care and I have longer wait times, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that sacrifice for a better country for my neighbors.
Everybody does have
I'm
health
okay with
care.
that.
You live in a country with universal health care. All we got to do is walk into an ER and say, hey, I'm sick, and they give you medicine, and they give you treatment. So we have universal health care. And the more you can pay, if we could get the true capitalist system open and let these insurance companies compete with one another, like gas stations compete, so we know if we walk into Bill's X-ray, it's going to cost $200 for an X-ray instead of this stupid, complicated insurance system that we have. And you have these very simplistic outlooks of things that are incredibly complicated. And it drives me crazy because you know what? Like I said, a lot of things you say they're incredibly smart. But then you say some shit that I think you're maybe just talking
Wait,
trash
no, bro. I've written extensive research papers on comparing healthcare systems, and when I talk about healthcare systems, I don't even talk about the Canadian healthcare for America. I believe in a multi-payer system for America, where we have private options and public options that cover everybody. So, when we talk about, you just said emergency rooms are an example of universal healthcare. You want to tell me I don't understand how it works? That's freaking insane. Everyone listening right now thinks you're a dumbass. Everyone listening right now, you think emergency room and medical debt means you have universal health care when they put a lien on your home. That's some mental shit.
A lien on you're not going to get a lien on your home for medical debt. Where did you get that from?
Insurance companies can do that. Yeah, they can. Insurance companies right now are putting liens on
homes.
homes.
A lien on your home for medical debt.
Insurance companies, yeah.
Nonsense.
Your credit score is going to go down too. You're saying you can't owe
your credit
an
score
insurance
may go
company.
down, but I get that, but they cannot put a lien. That's a bit hyperbolic, man. I mean, get it? The credit score, you're right.
Do you not think you can? Do you not think that you can't get? You cannot. Do you think there's no way to get a lien put on your home over a medical expense in America?
I'm telling you, a company cannot put a lien on your home for a medical expense. So say you get some lab work done, or you're in the hospital for 10 days.
If you have debt that's not collected, they can take legal action on that. Yes, they can. In America, they can take legal action on that. There's different methods in different states and different levels that you can do. But yes, they can put a lien on your home if you don't pay an insurance company or something. Yes, they could do that. Yes.
They cannot put a lien on your home. You may go. I'm not saying they can't take some sort of legal action, but Northwest Texas Hospital can't walk into a courtroom and sue Joe Blow and say, you know what?
Okay. Here's I googled it in 1 second. Okay, I googled it in 1 second. Here's an example of a lien.
Google.
All right. So these people, it's the first story that comes up. For 15 years, Donna and Gary Lindenberry of Vilas, North Carolina, lived with the financial equivalent of an anvil over their heads, a medical debt owed to a nonprofit hospital that at one point reached $200,000. And let's see. So there were $100,000 in interest charges, and there was a lien on their home. There was a lien on their home.
Maybe I should use your cop out and say, well, it's such a small sample size, it really doesn't matter.
You don't know anything. No. You said it was not possible in America for this to happen. Medical debt is the biggest cause of bankruptcy in America. You realize that? You called me stupid. I do policy for a living. You are a dumbass, bro.
What happens? Okay, what happens if you claim bankruptcy? Where do those debts go?
What?
You claim bankruptcy. Where do those debts go?
Where do they go?
Okay, what are the bankruptcy laws? Say, okay, I'm going to claim Chapter 11 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
Are you going to say that? Are you now going to say that if you get medical debt from healthcare, that bankruptcy is the true reason we have universal healthcare in America? Guys, you have universal healthcare. You just got to go into debt and go bankrupt.
The bankruptcy laws protect us from losing our home, losing our car, and losing our businesses. It's just another safety net. It exists. So you can say, you know what, I'm going to claim bankruptcy. I'm too poor to pay these debts.
You know what's crazy, though? So the safety net they have in Europe is healthcare is free. You know, they don't have medical debt at all. But we have to go through bankruptcy in America.
You seem to have this love affair.
Because I love America. Because I love my country.
It doesn't
and
sound
I
like
want to make America better.
I
want to make America better. No. You not liking America and not wanting to make it better is the issue. I want to make it better. You want to
Dude,
stay
I love
the same.
America. Okay, I love
Then
America.
you should be mad.
I live in
Europe's beating
America.
our asses. Europe is putting belt to our asses right now. We're getting belt marks all over our
America
butts.
has allowed me to go from living on the streets in poverty as a kid to being able to send my kids to college, to being able to support my two sons who are serving this country in the military right now.
Okay. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I validate your
You
experiences.
should be, because you know what? I
I'm proud
am
of
Joe
you.
Blow America. I'm not some guy who sits up at this
What I'm
building
saying
somewhere moving
is
the chess pieces around.
that's totally possible in Europe as well, but Europe does it better than we do. I want to make America better, just like I want to make America better.
Well, you talk about Europe is so great. Go to Britain last year.
There's issues.
What's that?
There's issues everywhere. I'm just saying
issues.
I'm saying we could take good things that work for them and use them here. So we don't need to become Europe. We could take good, like, companies borrow from other companies, right? We could just take tactics and borrow from them. We don't got to reinvent the wheel.
I completely agree, and I think you and I will probably agree on this. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you got to figure out, what? Sometimes things work, and there's a lot in this country that does work. And one thing that does work is the fact that we can get up tomorrow and grind and make something out of ourselves from nothing. You know what? Something I love about my family and my culture is we come from another country, legally or illegally. And I walk into the local burrito place in the corner where I eat every day, and I look up on the wall and I see Chavez Concrete and Garcia Drywall. That's how great this country is. You can come here with nothing. And
Okay, so
inside of the
I
year, have a
agree.
business.
I agree those things are awesome, but like in Europe, for example, it's much easier to go from poverty to, middle class than it is in America. It's a much higher chance. I mean, it's a data thing. It's a data thing. That's really frustrating. He just ended up leaving. I just updated OBS, and my OBS makes my computer crash sometimes. For anyone watching this back on YouTube, my computer crashed, and he said he's just gonna head out. He said he appreciates the conversation. He had a good time talking. He appreciates it. He appreciates that I stirred the pot a little bit, all that kind of stuff. Then he zoomed off into the darkness. All right. And by the way, that one moment where I made the dumb joke about anti-white racism or whatever, do you see how we just like joked about that and moved on? It was like a ball-busting shit-talking moment. You can say things that are stupid and slightly offensive to some people and move on in the conversation and be productive and have good vibes, right? People that watch me and anyone that comes on here knows that I don't have bad intentions with that kind of stuff. And there's nuance in the conversation that you can weave in and out of there. But and he knows I'm right about certain points too, but he pretty much says like he's gonna try to fight back against it, and if he gets things wrong, like people are not gonna admit they're wrong right away. They have to come to that conclusion eventually. But I think overall that's pretty good conversation. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I might just call it tonight, guys. You said we are back. I don't know. Is Joel lecturing us? Yeah, I'm lecturing you. I'm lecturing the left in general. That guy was trying to come at you straight and you treated him like trash. Bro, he enjoyed the conversation. He loved it. He literally said that he really appreciated it. And he's going to keep on watching me, even if he disagrees. Like, I don't think you understand how boys talk, bro. I don't think you understand how ball busting works. If you're a pathetic little weenie hut junior ass mother trucker, then go party in weenie hut junior. Don't come into the salty spittoon, bro. If you're gonna cry about it. You're so uninformed it's not even funny, bro. Are you a cringe feminine college dipshit? You're so uninformed it's not even funny. Shut the IVF, thank you for the engagement. Super Winnie Hut Jr. Super Winnie Hut Jr., bro. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for the donations on Venmo, Sri and L. Really appreciate it. I might call it for tonight. My computer crashed 2 times, which killed my momentum on both streams, so I'm kind of upsetty spaghetti. Thank you for $5. I'm sorry. I need to make sure I look at that sooner. Benji, $5. Can you ask these Gravy Seals if they're willing to work farms and meatpacking factories? I'll bring up immigration in my other conversations a different night. For sure. Thank you for the $5. I don't want you to think I was ignoring you. Cuban Americans are the dumbest people. No, that's a good conversation. Go back to app. You're so mad. Look at you showing off all your white privilege. True. True, dude. I ain't gonna lie though, taxing the rich obsession is crazy. Don't y'all want to be rich someday? Bro, if I'm rich someday, if I have billions of freaking dollars, bro. For real, the obsession with taxing the rich someday is crazy. Bro, if I had billions of dollars and I cried and peed my pants and shit my pants overpaying 1% more in taxes to help kids get food and healthcare, I'm not going to say that. I should be ashamed of myself, bro. If you could imagine being a billionaire, having $1 billion, multiple yachts, multiple mansions, huge companies that generate money at will, bro. Generating money. And you won't get taxed at 1% higher to give kids food and healthcare. You are a piece of garbage, bro. You are a piece of garbage. I don't understand this obsession, bro. You're not going to be a billionaire. If you make $1 million, you'll be fine paying your taxes. You'll be fine paying your taxes, bro. You'll be fine paying your taxes. Stop crying. You're not going to be... You think you're going to make that much money, bro? Off what? Off what? YouTube comments? I don't know who you think you are. I don't know where you think you are. Chill out. Let's get kids some health care. But you spend all your time, all your efforts whining about protecting rich people. You want to protect the rich. What are you? Who are you? They don't need protecting. We got to help the poor people. And I can't say poor people because the left is going to tell me that I'm being insensitive. But yeah, I was poor. I was in poor conditions. I was economically disadvantaged. Bro, if I was, back in the day, if someone came up to me and said, "Oh, are you economically disadvantaged?" Bro, liberals, kill me. Bro, I get so mad if someone said, "Oh, they suffer from substance abuse disorder and they are economically disadvantaged." Bro, and also neurodivergent. Bro, get away from me. Get away from me. Get away. And they're also unhoused. It's like, bro, get away. Please get away from me. Please. Where is your Zoran critique tweet? I'm going to bed after this. Where is your tweet at? Do I follow you on Twitter? Did you put it in Discord? Also, I don't care about any policies right now. Just the preface. I think policies are kind of... Did you send it to me on Venmo? No, I'm just kidding. Where is it? Is it in video links? Is it in content ideas? Is it in self-promotion? Who is this person putting his links in my Discord? The Raging Tomato? Who's the Raging Tomato? Why are they posting in my Discord with 14,000 subscribers? Why are there YouTubers spreading their content in my Discord and not contacting me? That's just kind of weird, bro. Is it community chat? How's Pisco doing nowadays? I've noticed that Pisco's viewership has died after the Destiny fallout. Which I knew his community was based off of Destiny's community, and without that community, he has like no viewer base really. Which is why he should probably do a show with me, but no, it's okay. It's cringe. Who cares? Who cares, dude? Just keep on doing internet drama content. That's what you really need to focus on. Talk more about some another random content creator, please. Please focus all your time on that. Yes. That's what we need more of. We need more lefty drama content. Please, Ethan Klein, Hassan, please do more. Please. Please, dude. Please, please, please. That's what we need right now. Where's the Zara Mamdani diss track? I don't see it. You gotta post it again. Is it up high? I don't know where it is. Wait, community chat? Oh, that community chat. I just joined it by accident. Shut up. I'm just kidding. This one? Oh, this one. Where is it? Is it gone? You're a Destiny fan. I don't. Wait. How do I look up the actual tweet that you sent? Mamdani's heart is in the right place, but some of his solutions... His heart is in the right place, but some of his solutions for the valid concerns are either unrealistic, misdirected, or will end up creating a whole different set of problems. High demand for housing and supply. Okay, here's my critique on that. I think that we need to do economically bad things for housing sometimes, because New York City, in my opinion, there comes a point where demand for housing is so high. Like, it's so high that it might be restrictively high to the point where there's no human possibility to build enough housing to lower housing costs for the families that need cheaper rent, who need to work and live in the city in certain areas that they can't get enough pay. We need to freeze their rent, especially. As a broad solution, maybe for certain income brackets, but there's no way to have a functioning community with just a market-based approach. I would be in favor of like freezing, like doing a bunch of housing developments and also freezing the rent for a good amount of people. Even if it's bad economically, it's just really hard to...
work.
Like Austin, Texas, the reason that works is because there's not that much demand. There's really not that much demand, and there's a lot of land and not much demand. All right, like it's the perfect storm for everything there. Oh, I can't see the whole tweet. I saw it through the link. What is this? I just saw something. Oh. Benny Johnson, paid for by Russia. He says entire neighborhoods probably need to be emptied, need to be bulldozed. Yeah, by that they mean taking black people out of the community. They do mean that. So when they say the cities are littered with like crime and disgusting areas, they mean the black communities. They blame black people for the ghettos they were forced into by the American government, and they are mad about it. So black people moved in the cities, which made white people leave the cities. They took away economic security from the cities where black people then lived. Black people were redlined into certain areas, given no prosperity. And then white people, after moving away, moved back into the city and gentrify it and make everything really expensive. And now they want to bulldoze areas of the city that might have a higher black population. So the American government has done so much bad shit to black people. And now they're mad at black people for the situation America put them in.
President Trump is doing God's work by refederalizing D.C.
God would not want this, by the way.
D.C. was set up as a federal city. It's in the Constitution. It's how our founding fathers intended it. These laws are still fully enforceable. They've never been rescinded or amended. President Trump.
Thank you so much, Howard, for $5. I don't know if it was for anything. For a coffee. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you so much. Joel Politics, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, for anyone who wants to help support the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
And the executive, through the House of Representatives, controls Washington, D.C. President Trump controls budgets. House of Representatives and the Speaker of the House is technically and historically
the code Trump is using for the DC takeover allows the president to take control of the Capitol Police or local police, the DC Police, whatever they're called. Are they all Capitol Police? I don't know how it works. I'm not really sure how it works. Is there a difference between DC Police and Capitol Police? I assume like Capitol Grounds versus DC. I don't know. But it allows the president in extreme national emergencies or extreme emergencies, you can take control for 48 hours. And Trump is saying there's an emergency because he says so, with no actual defined reason for it. So that's the threat here. Every dictator, authoritarian type person uses national emergency power to do their exploits. They always say there's a big issue that needs to be solved right now, and we have to violate rights and take things over. So DC does have an issue where it's more legal to do this in. But when Trump says we have to take over Los Angeles and Chicago and New York and Oakland, he wants to use these emergency powers to just use the National Guard to militarize cities more so.
The lead of DC. That still remains on the books. What happened to DC, especially during the civil rights period, was that protesters that were bussed up here stayed here. The city was burned to the ground. This happened during massive riots.
So he goes right to blaming the civil rights movement, which, part of the issue is like there's some truth to social disruption, but it was not their fault. It was not their fault whatsoever. You're going to blame people for protesting for their rights?
Throughout the 60s and 70s, mass swaths of the city were torched and were never really rebuilt.
It's just not true.
And so what President Trump is doing is reasserting control of not only our nation's capital, but truly the seat of Western civilization.
Yeah, Western civilization. Oh, man. This guy, his biggest enemy is the closet door. When they say Western civilization, they mean white people. They mean white. They mean white, by the way. So reseating white, less black is what he just said there. They are not hiding it anymore at all. They don't hide it whatsoever. They don't hide it. They just are confident enough Americans are going to like it.
There's one final little note here that kind of blends outside.
This guy paid by Russia directly, by the way.
Which is that Washington, D.C. is a representation of the work of your forefathers and mine.
Okay, so your forefathers and mine. They also don't believe that black people have forefathers in America. They don't believe black people belong in America.
It is, by every measure, a very beautiful city architecturally. It is a sacred city. It is a sovereign place with the monuments to great men and women who've sacrificed far more than you or I could ever dream for this country. It must be preserved because the peoples of Earth come here by the millions per year in order to witness the success or failures of our systems. And if you are a proud patriot and you love this country and you wish for it to be reflected honorably to the peoples of Earth, then Washington, D.C. must...
D.C., I was in D.C., a decent amount. It's fine there. And anywhere people would be going, there's no issues at all whatsoever. The areas that'll have crime will be neglected areas that are forced out from the rich areas and have, they have no public funding for health or education or mental health or city planning or whatever. It'll be these communities that were forced to be in poverty and forced into the ghettos. And ghettos have an actual word, right? It's subjugation from the government. Like the ghettos, people think ghetto means black people, but it really just means like you have the Warsaw Ghetto, for Germany. But like, that's what happens. They have a rich area. The highest crime rates are next to really rich areas. So in all these cities, the higher the economic inequality is from a rich to poor area, the higher the crime rate is going to be in the poor area, because that area is going to be more neglected, more crammed together, a lot more pressures on them, and a lot more stresses that cause more crime.
Be swept
Peoples of Earth.
clean. I believe entire neighborhoods probably need to be emptied, need to be bulldozed. I believe that there are places that are so crime-ridden and so infested that you just need to, you're just going to have to crack down. You're going to have to do the job, and you're going to have to get the crime out of Washington.
So instead of funding schools and funding programs and building housing and making things better, they just want to have government officials, not even officials, but like government agents going through the city using 1984 tactics, surveillance state tactics to rid the city of all crime, just like they do in China and Russia and other authoritarian regimes.
That's my personal experience. Don't believe the bullshit that you hear online from some reporters. Oh, crime's down in D.C. Well, my infant nearly died in a drug fire after mass shootings.
This guy is lying his ass off, paid for by Russia. My infant almost died in a drug fire with mass shootings.
So no.
Bro, what the hell, dude?
In a drug fire.
Yeah, dude. Surely that happened. That definitely happened, bro. We got to bulldoze all of DC. Only the black areas, of course, is what they want.
DC. Well, my infant nearly died.
Bro, if anyone has a near-death experience with their infant, I promise you, they do not describe it like this, bro.
Don't believe the bullshit that you hear online from some reporters. Oh, crime's down in DC. Well,
Also, let's say that happened. One crime is not evidence the crime rate is not down. The crime rate is still down. But
that you hear online from some reporters. Oh, crime's down in DC. Well, my infant nearly died in a drug fire after mass shootings. So no, DC is not safe. And I can tell you this as a matter of fact, it is one of the worst, most racist narco states and welfare states imaginable.
Awesome, dude. I've seen violent crimes firsthand in Appalachia. A lot of Appalachian areas, a lot of southern areas have a lot of crime and poor white communities in these rural areas and small towns. A lot of overdoses and stuff too. I would never say that one experience I had is evidence these areas are not safe in general, because I'm not a little baby boy with a tiny little brain.
That neighborhood that I would walk every single day, racial epithets were screamed at us.
Oh, yes.
Rocks were thrown at
Bro, yes. This is all so true. This definitely happened.
us because we were white people.
Bro, this is... Get out of your cracker! Dude, this definitely happened, bro. This definitely happened. That's everyone's experience in DC. They just throw rocks and say, yep, that happened. That definitely happened.
Because we were white people.
Because we were white people, bro? This is the propaganda they send us?
Every single day. Racial epithets were screamed at us.
Bro, my infant almost died in drug fires and mass shootings, and racial slurs were thrown at me, and they threw rocks at me and called me dumb white boy. And that's an average day in Washington, D.C.
Rocks were thrown at us because we were white people.
Because we were white people.
This city is a sunken place. It is an unsafe place. I mean, if that's what happens to me, imagine what happens to somebody who's like visiting here from a foreign country.
Bro.
Right? It's totally and wholly unsafe and a scar on the face of our country.
Bro, calm down. Holy shit. Someone get this guy a boyfriend. Holy shit. He's got to take his frustration out somewhere else. This is crazy as shit. This is crazy. Crazy shit, bro. They are betting on the idea that no one else goes outside. You know, they're betting on this idea. It's kind of awesome. I love it. By the way, Zoran Mamdani, among conservative voters, Curtis Sliwa has 40% of the vote. Zoran Mamdani is getting more conservative voters than Andrew Cuomo right now. It's kind of interesting because voters are kind of silly geese. They're silly gooses, all right? And they vote for funny reasons. And I know Republicans who think Trump is for universal health care. They think Trump is for Medicare for all. They respond to populism. There's a reason AOC and Bernie Sanders got a lot of Trump voters. They believe the whole message of, you know, taxing the elites and helping the common American. They believe all that language. So when Zoran uses populism and talks about reinvesting in New York City and says, I'm not going to Israel, I'm staying in New York, I'm going to focus on New Yorkers, that message really resonates with conservative voters. It's not as simple as political policy preference like they think. So like Liz Cheney's not going to get these conservative voters. A populist, aggressive message probably will, more so because it has some authenticity, it has some fight to it, and people identify as ideologies for dumbass reasons. Okay, I know some Democrats who were Democrats for 40 years, and they just vote Trump, and they're very hardcore Republican, but they vote Trump. They don't know what Democrat even means. They just like Trump. Okay, so make sure when we look at 2028 candidates as well, there's a thing where conservatives and moderate voters and low propensity voters might vote for a progressive who is further left because they hit authenticity points and populist points, even if their ideologies are not very aligned. Voters are silly geese. What can I say? Is that a minute for TikTok? I hope it is. Please drop a like, repost this video, and follow my page, and subscribe. Thank you, TikTok. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Beautiful. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a night there, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the donations. Really appreciate you guys. Hopefully this channel pops off eventually, because I really appreciate all your support. But I feel bad that you guys are all. I feel bad that you guys are supporting my channel with all these donations. We got to get more people to help support by donating. But yeah, I really appreciate all the viewership. Appreciate all the likes. Really appreciate it. I do think I have a voice that should be out there more in progressive left media. Good night. It's JID. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Consistency and you got this. Thank you. I hope so. I had a conversation about the Enough America tour. By the way, I talked to Z. This seems interesting. There's 2 tiers of content creator. There's tier 1 and tier 2. I think I'm too small to be in tier 1, but I would like to be in tier 1. Tier 2 helps you grow, but
well, no, I live right here. Okay, cool. It's a cigarette.
oh, look at this. Ooh. LeBron James. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at those feet. Look at those feet right there. He got his toes out. He got the toe shoes on, bro. He got them toe shoes on. Oh my goodness. Whew. All right, guys. Have a good night.